Historic and classic vehicles, how special are they? Here at the Federation of Motoring Clubs New Zealand, we've undertaken first-time ever market research to find out. So, who is the Federation? It's a national organization founded in the mid-1990s to represent a diverse group of member clubs, including vintage, veteran, and classic cars, historic and classic motorcycles, the Hot Rod Association, vintage trucks and tractors, veteran military equipment, and motorhomes and caravans. The common thread is the variety of vehicles themselves across 140 member clubs today, and the fact that these vehicles touch the hearts of not only their owners, but New Zealanders at large, as you'll see soon. So why do this research? In these times of change and challenge, the Federation decided that its role of protecting our heritage into our future needed a professional approach with key facts on the table. There were no less than 7 separate surveys to cover the wide scope of the Federation, with 15,500 online surveys completed, including members and owners across all sectors, museums and collectors, associated businesses and activities, motorhome and caravan owners, and the public at large. A substantial piece of work undertaken by a leading New Zealand research company. The results you are about to see have never been researched or published before. How big is the historic and classic vehicle sector in New Zealand? It's a grand total of nearly 280,000 vehicles. That's about 6% of all the vehicles registered in New Zealand, and an owner body of just under 200,000. On average, the distance covered by one of these vehicles is only 3,600 kilometers per year, just a fraction of the normal distance covered by most of us. Looking at this in another way, the average annual spend by each of our owners, including servicing, insurance, presentation, travel expenses on car runs, and more, adds up to nearly $10,000 per year per vehicle. One of the core objectives of the survey is to determine the overall economic impact. As they say, money talks. The total annual spend across all aspects of the historic and classic sector, including vehicle owners, servicing trades, associated businesses, museums and collections, and the clubs, is over $1 billion per year. But the total economic figure is more. We also drilled into the total historic and classic investment by Federation members, the public museums that we all enjoy, the private collections, and our research came in at a gigantic $2.6 billion. And that's being conservative. But of course, it's more than the money. The survey tells us that the specialist trades and services that directly support the historic and classic sectors employ more than 5,700 people nationwide, and that number excludes the nationwide chain outlets. Beyond these historic and classic headlines, the Federation's membership also includes the New Zealand Motorhome and Caravan Association. We included the MCA membership in the survey, and this confirmed their substantial size, boosting the New Zealand economy by $660 million annually on their vehicle and travel expenses. And that doesn't include the value of the actual caravans and motorhomes they own. Those 3 big numbers we've seen add up to $4.25 billion, with the total national footprint of the Federation of Motoring Clubs estimated at $11.4 billion. As we wrap up this story, what's the view of the wider New Zealand population? Here's a couple of very interesting and very revealing statistics. 71% of New Zealanders actually see historic and classic vehicles as part of our national heritage. And perhaps more revealing, our survey tells us that 26% of the entire New Zealand population would like to own an historic or classic car if the circumstances became available to them. That's a great aspiration. We're thrilled to see the majority of New Zealanders support our passion, as well as the contribution we make to the New Zealand economy and our heritage. These results from our first-time ever survey show the sector is in very good heart and more substantial than most would have expected. Thank you to the many thousands who took part. May you continue to enjoy the road ahead in your prized historic and classic vehicles.